Welcome back to the Upper Sandusky Community Library's Facebook page and another episode of Art History Lessons with Lisa. Today we're doing Activity 6. Now, if you haven't been to the library and picked up your art kit yet, please do so. You can check out the supplies and the kit, and then for the next few weeks, we will be doing lessons on Pablo Picasso. So if this is your first time here, please make sure that you've picked up your pack at the library, and then come back to this Facebook page under videos and you can find the introduction and the other activities that you missed. Please make sure that you read the selection and watch the videos before you start any of the activities so that you know why you're doing what you're doing. So in Activity 6, the drawing has used many different techniques that Picasso did, including using different angles, front and side, in the same drawing. You're going to color the portrait in your choice of color scheme. Before we do that, though, I want to show you some different pictures that Picasso did using all of these techniques. And then that should help you be able to color your picture in. As you can see in this painting, Dora Maar, which was done, I believe, in 1937, if I'm reading the internet place right, you can see a lot of this in this painting. You see a side view on the right side of the lady and a frontal view on the left side of her face. This is basically opposite of what's going on in the drawing. On the right side of her face, it looks like that's the profile, and the left side of her face almost looks like the frontal. And then we have this poor soul, the Weeping Woman, an oil painting by Picasso done in 1937. And you can see again on the right seems to be more of a profile, where the left seems to be more of a front-on view of her face. And this is one of them that helped me understand that if just because there wasn't a line drawn, I didn't mean that I couldn't change colors. Because I was wondering as I was looking at the picture, well, how do I put so many colors on her face and there's not a definite division of spaces, but you can just switch right in the middle and there doesn't have to be a dark line there. And that's what you'll see in some of these other pictures too. Also notice that the ears in these two pictures are pretty close to the same thing. In the drawing, you can see on the right of her head, and in Picasso's picture on the left of her head, the ears are very much the same. Here's another interesting painting by Picasso, Bust de Femme à Chapeau, or otherwise known as Dora. And again, you can see at least two different views. Here is a woman with beret and collar. And again, you can see in the picture of her face, there's no divisions, no certain lines, so you can just change colors whenever you want. And that's kind of what I was looking for when I was looking through these pictures. Also notice all the different ways he draws noses, eyes. Sometimes he uses the same thing in a different picture, and we'll come to that in one of the next activities coming up. This one is called Cubism Women, possibly two people. And here we have Maya with doll and wooden horse. It's kind of obvious this is a kid. I don't know how it is obvious, but it just did strike me that it was a child. And you can see her holding a doll. You can also see the horse in her lap, but you can still see different perspectives on her face and even in the dolls. So I hope by looking at these different examples of Picasso's work, it gives you a little bit of idea of what to do with this drawing that we have. Maybe some color choices you could make. Just pick one that appeals to you or do your own thing. So let's get started on our own picture. I decided to use the color pencils this time again because I like the way they color a little bit better. I love crayons, but they're a little bit crumbly. The colored pencils, I can make really dark by filling in a couple layers. So I just get started. I test off to the side to make sure it's the right color I want. And then I go ahead and just get started. And you can just have fun with this. Please don't copy mine. Again, I always want it to be what you did, what you think, how you feel, colors you like. Just have fun with it. So I just randomly put my colors where I wanted to, and just there's where I picked a line to I just made a line where I wanted the color to stop, because a lot of this area on her face doesn't have definite enclosed areas to color. So when you want to stop and do another color, just stop and do another color. And that's what I was looking for in the examples that we were looking at, is how did he do that? And you can see where my cat decided to help us. And I guess that was the end of the cat anyway. So right here, I decided to add a little bit of, it looks like plaid kind of, and I've noticed a little bit of plaid in his work. So I decided to give her like a collar or a scarf or something around her neck that looks kind of plaid. So there, just fill them in with some different colors. They're kind of different than what her face was. Her face has more rainbowish colors, and then with the scarf around her neck, I kind of decided to change it to a little more basic plaid looking. And you'll see when it's done that it does look a little different than her face. But I thought that was a nice touch, and it also brings in a little bit of things that he does in his picture. You can see some of this in the girl with her toys. The top of her dress and her skirt have some plaid in it. So as I was finishing up, I noticed that she looked a little plain, and that's not how Picasso's pictures looked. So I looked back at the other pictures, and they do have some background in them. So they're just simple, but they could be a wall and a floor, or just anything kind of to make a background. Sometimes it's just colors, and even some colors with flowers in them or designs. So I decided to make just a wall and a floor. But you can do whatever you want. I want yours to be different. I realized looking back, I must not have filmed myself doing this. So at least here's the finished product of the background. So I hope you enjoyed today's activity. And remember, when you get done, post it on Instagram, USCL Picasso, so that I can find them. And we will post some on Facebook. And when you get done with things, you can also bring them into the library, and we will display them there. Remember to come to the library if you haven't got your kit yet, and you can start this from the beginning. We post every Friday at 4 o'clock. And if you like these videos, you can pop on over to my YouTube channel, Property of Lisa, for more fun videos. Please subscribe when you're there too. Thanks, I'd appreciate it. See you next time.